Let's go to St. Louis, because this one is, well, an incredible story of a judge who decides that she, I think, wants to get closer to heaven. But anyway, she sentenced a 16-year-old to 241 years in prison and then had a change of heart. Let's show you what we've learned about this story, okay? 16 years old, this man is now free. St. Louis judge has advocated the release of this black man she sentenced to, again, 241 years in prison when he was just 16. Bobby Bostic is his name, seated there with the now retired Judge Evelyn Baker, who gave him that sentence. Really, 241 years, my goodness, for a robbery charge. He was an associate of the crime, you would say. On Wednesday, Bostic was released from prison. That was November 9th. And met with family, friends, and the judge who sentenced him. Again, she's retired now, since changed her mind, calling her decision an act of, quote, insanity. After leaving the bench, she dedicated her time to helping the young man who's now 43 and a different person get parole just in time for the holidays. When asked if he harbored any ill will toward Baker, Mr. Bostic said he did not, but was grateful for her support. I'm a free man, all because of you, all who supported me. While I cannot change what happened so many years ago, I will mentor and teach young people to take a different path than I did when I was a young child myself. Bostic became a ward of the state in 1995. In 1997, then Judge Evelyn Baker convicted him to 241 years in prison on 18 counts. Convictions for every count to run consecutively, okay, not concurrent. The judge had discretion and said, nah, they're gonna run consecutively for being an accomplice in 2 armed robberies. Under her sentencing, he would not have been eligible for parole until he turned 112. That according to the St. Louis American, great newspaper out of St. Louis. Judge Evelyn Baker was said at his 1997 sentencing, your mandatory date to go in front of the parole board will be the year 2201 is what it says. Nobody in this room is gonna be alive in that year. In Baker's mind, Bostic was not capable of reform. Again, age 16, Baker says her sentencing reflected her lack of understanding about adolescent development, a teen's brain, as research such as that by the National Institute of Mental Health indicates it is not fully formed a child's brain until the mid to late 20s. Now, there's more to this story, Jackson, but I want to bring you in. You're from St. Louis. I don't know if you know Judge Baker, but for her to not understand, and I'm not excusing the crime or being a party to it, for her to not understand that a 16-year-old black child does not have the full faculties, the full wherewithal, the brain power to understand the consequences, perhaps fully, of his actions. That's why I said I think she's just trying to get closer to heaven.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is just her attempt at, clearing her consciousness as much as she can in as many ways as she can, because really she's just, sugarcoating her racism by playing stupid, with general lack of knowledge of human anatomy. But anybody who's reached adulthood doesn't think of teenagers as children. I mean, does she consider herself at 16 a child? No, I'm sure she wouldn't. But this again is just a reflection of the white supremacist foundations of the country. When the crime bill was passed in the early 90s, that was really the whole premises of it, as it targeted black and brown people, especially in inner city areas where there aren't opportunities. That was the whole attitude. These people can't be reformed. We have to treat them like adults or else they're gonna come get us. But the reality is, again, like you said, it's not to justify being a part of an armed robbery, but typically these are crimes of poverty. And I mean, I myself, I could very well be in prison right now off drug charges and theft charges and different types of stuff, just me being young and trying to make money and doing things. And luckily that never crossed my path, but it very well could have. So her just handing out these types of sentences the way that she did, she knew what she was doing, but she's looking at death coming in and she's trying to clear her conscience, just like you said.
Yeah, and it's a good thing statute of limitations is up and Judge Baker's not on the bench, or else she might be the type that would come after you today.
Right, exactly.
That, okay, like I said, I don't know why it's so self-serving. Just do it quietly, okay, and let Mr. Bostic come forward to the cameras if he wishes to tell his story. He wants to help others, and I want to show you this because he is an accomplished man now, age 43 years old after all of that time behind bars. Let's tell you a little bit more, okay? Because this is a young man who's written books. He's written books in prison. He's learned without a formal education in prison. 2022, Bostic boasted earning an associate degree, writing 15 books while incarcerated, 15, including a biography of his mother. Wow. He learned he also was resilient in 2010 when the US Supreme Court ruled to outlaw life sentences for people under 18 for non-homicide crimes, but refused to hear his case in 2019. He did not shrink up. He did not shrink or give up. He worked with the American Civil Liberties Union, Missouri legislature to pass a law based on his case, okay? So that'll tell you how, when the mind grows up, what happened. This piece of legislation, pushed by Republican Representative Nick Schroer of Missouri, called the Bobby Bostic Law, allows teens locked up essentially for life crimes other than murder to have a parole board review after 15 years in jail. The law was adopted in 2021, helped put along his 2022 parole hearing and his freedom being granted. So, Jackson, I don't even want to give her credit for this.
No.
He did the work. He freed himself. He got the law, his namesake law, passed. And now he's free. Why should she sit next to him?
Yeah, no, she doesn't deserve any type of praise. And if she had any type of real self-awareness or wherewithal, as you pointed out, she would have gone about this more quietly, because this doesn't make you look good whatsoever. And he very well could have not survived those 37 years in prison. He could have well gotten killed off of just some everyday, because prison life is horrible. So no, I don't know what she was thinking, honestly. But no, I have no sympathy for her. I have no love for her, and hopefully this man can get as much support as he needs, and also continue to become more successful and be an inspiration and a leader for others.
Yeah, he wasn't just gonna, sit there and rot. Here's somebody who, and I don't buy this moment of insanity. Again, I read you what she said from the bench. She seemed to take the light consecutive, not
it was sadistic, right?
Right, sadistic. And there's more like her, and there's more like Bobby Bostic, who still haven't seen the light of day. 16 years old. Who were you at age 16? She needs to have several seats, this judge. But some people don't want to take a seat. They don't want to go away.